Hi friends, and thanks for joining me for this relaxing, soothing, calming yoga practice today. I hope it leaves you feeling more balanced. So let's grab your mat and let's get started. Take a comfortable cross-legged seat with your hands right in front of your shins and lean back slightly to bring the base of the skull right over the tail. Feel the tip of the tail dropping right down. Hug the shoulder blades down onto your back as you lift up through the crown of the head. And take a moment to arrive in your practice, letting everything else outside the space dissolve away. And we'll start to move with the breath. On the inhale, draw the chest forward, arch through your upper back, look up, and then when you exhale, we're going to pull the belly toward the spine and drag the chin toward the chest. And move like that in this way, some cat and cow spinal rolls seated. So inhale, lengthen the side ribs, and then exhale, pull back. Waking up the spine, the hips, and moving with the breath. Inhale, spread through the chest. Exhale, belly to spine. And one more inhale, sweep the arms forward, press the palms together, then open your arms, palms facing up. Lean back, draw your knees in and cross your other ankle on top. Then same flow. Inhale, spread the chest, look up. Exhale, ribs in, traction back. Inhale, gliding through, broad chest. Exhale, creating a little heat in the belly. Let's take one more. Inhale, forward, and exhale, pulling back. And then inhale, forward, reach forward. This time, reach, reach, reach. Tented fingers are going to inch their way toward the upper corners of your mat and drop your chin toward your chest. And lightly press the fingertips away from your hips as you drop your sitting bones down and breathe space. A little flex through the feet can help shift the focus of this more into your outer hips and butt and out of your knee joints. Walk your hands lightly toward your ankles. Start to lift up tall through the crown. Bring your knees in, cross your other ankle on top, and then reach your arms forward, forward, forward. Again, tented fingers inching toward the front corners of the mat. Drop your chin toward your chest. Lift your elbows away from each other and ground your fingertips down and forward, dropping your two sitting bones toward the mat as you breathe space into your back ribs. A little sway side to side might feel soothing. Good. Now walk your hands toward your ankles, sit up really tall, and we're going to interlace the fingers and flip the palms right up toward the ceiling. Getting really lifted through the heels of the hands, then draw your knees in, uncross, zip your big toes together and start to slide your heels out straight. Let the arms drape down alongside the body. Lean forward and then drag one sitting bone at a time back. We're going to come into a Paschimottanasana forward fold, kind of a standard yoga asana forward fold. Feet are a little flexed. Knees can be slightly lifted so that they're not locked or hyperextended. And then we're going to reach the arms up on the inhale, lift the fingertips up away from the hips, look up, and then exhale, reach, reach, reach for your toes. Or if the toes aren't available, go ahead and take your ankles or your shins and gently fold, spreading your chest towards your feet. Breathing there, gazing down between your legs anywhere. When you inhale, you can expand the belly, expand through any tension with the space of the inhale. And then with a long, slow exhale through the nose, you might fold into this forward fold any amount more. Paschimottanasana. It's a stretch from the back of the heels to the back of the head. And gently pulling the belly in, start to sit up. Sit up tall through the crown of the head. Now take your right heel and bring it toward your right sitting bone. Your right toes are pointing straight ahead. We're going to open the right knee and bring your right foot to the inside of your left inner thigh. Then we're going to walk our hands over to the left and turn for a second. You can't see it, but I can adjust a little bit so you can see. But I'm keeping my right knee just kind of falling open as I turn. Right rib toward left rib. Gently look over your left shoulder. Let's inhale. And when you exhale, turn your chest to face your left foot and start to slide your hands toward your ankle, your shin, or maybe you're reaching to interlace the hands around the sole of that left foot Open your elbows away from each other as you fold into Janu Sirsasana. We're going to peek at the left hip and breathe along the right side. Spacious inhales expanding through that whole right side seam, from the pinky deep into your right lower back and hip. Exhale, you move into the fold a little bit more. And we're thinking of the inner thighs spiraling forward and down toward the mat. Nice and spacious lower back. Now drop your tail and go ahead and sit up. Let's gather that right knee in. Step your right foot on the ground. Now cross your right ankle over on top. That right foot is going to flex. In fact, both feet are flexed. That way you're shifting this again more into your hips instead of the knee joint. Now we're going to let that right knee fall forward. It's a half Gomukhasana pose. If you're very familiar with Gomukhasana and you want to take the full pose, you can turn your left toes out and scooch that left heel toward the right sitting bone so your knees will stack. I'm going to take the half version today. So you let that right knee fall and you gradually start to lean forward. Try to keep your shoulders and upper body very soft. You may be able to reach and touch your toes, or just let your hands frame your ankle. And then gradually bring your nose towards your right knee. Deep IT band stretch. Now we can work here with some flow. On the inhale, we'll sit up. Float your arms up. Reach up. On your exhale, reach for the toes and fold. Nose toward knee. Then inhale, float up. Reach up. And exhale, belly in. Nose toward knee. Inhale, waving up. And then exhale, release your hands to frame your legs. Fold forward slowly, nose toward knee. Open your elbows. And then when you sit up, gather that right knee in towards your body. Uncross. Extend your right leg out. Zip your big toes together. Lift up your knees a little bit. And then start to slide your hands towards your ankles or the outside edges of the feet. And fold into Paschimottanasana. Smooth inhale, back ribs. Exhale, fold. And slowly come on up. Let's do that same sequence on the other side, starting with left foot on the ground. You can see a lot better on this side. Left toe pointing straight ahead. Open your left knee and gather that left sole of the foot into the inner right thigh. So we create this L shape from that left knee to the center of the right heel. Now, we're going to turn to the right. You can take your left hand lightly on the outside of that right thigh, or walk your hands onto the mat and take a turn through your torso. So you keep that left knee falling open and you turn left rib toward right rib. Sit up tall through the crown. Inhale into your belly. Exhale back to center, and then reach your arms up. Inhale, look up. Exhale, reach for your foot. Or of course, you can take the ankle or the shin, or hands can be anywhere on the floor as you fold. Peek at your right hip and find some space to breathe wherever you're at. Always a smooth, steady breath and a sense of ease in your effort. So we're never trying to force or pressure the body to go where it doesn't want to. There's always a gentle and kind approach in your effort. And exhaling out all the way. Then drop the tail, draw your belly in slowly. Let's sit up tall. Cross your left ankle over on top of your right thigh. We're going to take that half Gomukhasana. So it's very kind of essential to keep that left foot flexed so it doesn't sickle. Now remember, if you practice this often and you want to come to the fuller version, you can let your right toes open, bend the knee, and scooch that right heel toward the sitting bone, as long as both feet are flexed and you're able to breathe calmly there. I'm today going to take the half version. I'm feeling a little tight. So take your time to slowly start to fold forward. Walk your hands to frame that ankle, or maybe touch the toes, and then drop your nose toward your knee. Let's move with that breath flow. On the inhale, reach up, and then exhale, reach for the toes. Knee toward nose. It rhymes. Inhale, reach up, look up, and exhale, reach. So as we flow, when we contract one muscle group, the other opposite muscle group softens. So that's why flowing can be so effective. And exhale, fold. It's also very meditative and soothing to link the movement with the breath. So go ahead and pause there for a moment then. And there's a subtle movement with the breath anyway, even without trying. So when you inhale, that back ribs expand. There's a sense of lift through that space between the shoulder blades. And when you exhale, everything softens toward the ground a little more. And then dropping the tail, let's slowly come on up and bring that knee up. And we're going to open and take your heels wider, finding your Upavista Konasana. So whatever amount, you can take a big wide V or you can take a little shorter V depending on how you feel. And we're going to sit up tall. So this might be the place where you stay. You just sit up really tall, sitting up through the crown. Or otherwise, you may be able to lean forward a little bit and just walk your fingers forward. Inner thighs are rolling forward, and maybe come down onto the elbows and rest your thumbs right on your third eye center. Or maybe you want to cup your hands and rest your chin in your hands and inch your elbows forward and take a little release on the neck. Wherever you're at is fine. Again, you could be just sitting upright and breathe a couple rounds. It's Upavista Konasana, wide-legged forward fold. Tuning into your breath, one more spacious inhale. And then exhale, go ahead and walk yourself back up onto your hands. Take your hands under your knees for support and lift up. And then cross either ankle on top. And we'll roll over the knees. Come into tabletop. Let's take one downward dog. That might feel really good after all that hip and leg stretching. Good. Pedal out the feet, lift up the sitting bones. Feel the spaciousness of your lower back lifting up and the inner thighs spiraling up as the belly softens back toward the spine on the exhale. We're going to drift forward into your tabletop and then cross your ankles back behind you, sit behind your heels, drawing your knees in and slide your legs out straight. So we're going to scooch forward and then make your way down onto your back. When you come onto the back, go ahead and hug your knees in, take a gentle rock side to side. See how your back feels. Loosen up, let go. Let go of your spine. Let go of any tension in your face. And we'll take one full happy baby, reaching around for the outside of the feet. Soles of feet face the sky. Heels are right over the knees. Let the shoulder blades drop down. So there's a real openness in the collarbones. Press your lower back into the floor. Then gently release, feet on the ground, mat with distance. Knees knock in to touch. Rest your hands anywhere on your torso for a brief constructive rest. This is our final posture, taking this meditative few moments to scan and be present and try to cultivate a sense of inner peace and wellness for whatever that means to you. So it could be just relaxing a little bit more than you were before, noticing any thoughts that maybe aren't helpful and letting them fall away, and inviting compassion for wherever you're at, and of course, gratitude. What are you grateful for? Considering that in your mind, your heart, and your cells. A sense of lightness in the joints and space. Start to windshield wiper slowly, drifting knees one side to the other. Melting away stress, tension, gripping. So the whole body is very, very open. And then bringing the knees in, take a pause. Feet are on the floor. Start to drift your arms overhead, take a resetting stretch. Big full inhale, lengthening. You can press through the feet and just pick up the hips a little bit and engage the glutes. And then lay the lower back down. Drawing your knees in, and then gently roll slowly to either side. And without jarring your nerves too much, gently press up to sit. Thank you for joining me today. I'm wishing you joy, peace, health, strength, courage, and always trust on the journey. And I'm super grateful for your presence here. So I'd appreciate a subscribe, a like, a comment, or even that super thanks button. That really brings me joy and helps support this channel. And I look forward to having you on the mat again with me in this practice. Take care until then. Keep it up.